Okay, with the vinyl filament, it's semi-permanent, so that means that we're not going to get any sort of residue or anything like that sticking to the place. So I should have got all this ready before I started. And we're going to need a squeegee. I'm going to use a small squeegee because it's only a small space here. Right, so let me cut a piece out that fits. This, you can reuse this over and over again, so I'm only going to cut one piece out and use the same piece for the two. Let me just use some better scissors than that one. Right, so here we go. Now ideally these would have crop marks on and we can do all that, but I'm just going to line these up using my eye just to speed things up for us, but you'll get the idea of what vinyl cutting is. Okay, I'm just going to throw that bit away, keep the workshop tidy. Yep, about there will do me. Okay, so with the masking placed in there, just place everything back. With the masking I've placed in, all I'm going to do next, quite simply, is peel this, and this isn't that sticky, to be honest. And all I'm going to do is then place it over the side. Now, exactly the same as we did the boxes, I'm just going to place one edge down and stick it to the table, which is why I overcut it slightly. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Perhaps if I moved it back into our marks it might be a little bit better. And then all I'm going to use then is a squeegee just to get rid of all the air from the centre going outwards. Okay, I'm trying to avoid getting any air or any creases in at all onto this stage, because that will affect the layout. So what I've done now is I've just stuck this down with a semi-permanent sort of sticker. Now as I'm peeling it off, you can see what's happening. It's actually sticky enough to remove this, the vinyl, from the background of there. Okay, so let me just get that off the table. And when I'm doing vinyl cutting, this is usually how I supply it with the film on, ready for people to do. And we'll bring back in our box. Now our box I'm actually going to place just so we can see from here. So exactly the same. All I'm going to do now is peel my design gently and use gravity to drop it down. Okay, and then I'm going to line it up to where I think it needs to be. Right, now at this point I do exactly the same, but I need to be a bit more careful as I'm doing it at this point, because as it sticks I can't have any bubbles in it whatsoever. So I'm going to take my time. I'm just going to feed the vinyl down nice and slow. Now on the big jobs what you can do is get a roller to do this, and so what I'm going to do now is smooth that out, and what I'm looking for is all of the air to have gone out at this point. Now easiest thing to do next is literally, the adhesive on the vinyl is more stickier than the clear adhesive on the masking tape. So what should happen now is the vinyl should now be stuck to the paper, but the masking tape shouldn't. So I should now be able to peel the masking off. Now I'm going to use this for the next one, so obviously I don't want to throw it away. And gently, if I just put this at an angle, if I see things lifting, I'm just going to take it back. Just make sure that it's right. And it's just starting to lift now, so that's a good sign. and I'm hoping that the vinyl's going to stop. As I manoeuvre the masking nice and slowly. And you can see I'm putting an even pressure on. I'm just pulling this at an angle. The only reason I'm doing this at an angle is because I don't want it, and if I think if for some reason it's going to go wrong, what I'll do is just stop and then just reapply it back down, because everything else is fixed, it's stuck. Okay, so if I think there's going to be any sort of groove in it, I'll just take it back and away we go. So nice little flat pressure, just peeling off. Just got to be careful with the letters. There's a lot of sharp points on this font, which I always knew was going to be an issue, if I'm honest. But you can see it's starting to work quite well. So what I'm actually left with is the vinyl. Alright, so I need to come in and do a bit of doctoring here. I'll just take that back down a bit gently. I can see why that's happening there. So put a little dot in it, and I'm just going to place that back to where it should be. And that's pretty much it. We just really take our time to peel off the vinyl onto the paper. Nice steady approach. You can see I'm not pushing down on anything. Here is obviously the paper that we're printing on, for it to grab an issue on there as well, and also the actual vinyl. Loads of things like this have been put on, police car, livery, all the other sort of stuff done exactly the same way. And there you have it. There's your Epsilon 5 in vinyl. Now there's still a bit of work I need to do on that, so all I'm going to do is place this back onto it, and I'm just going to work back in. Just to make sure it's stuck. Now of course once I've put the varnish over it, this is going to make a difference. It's going to make it all shiny and glossy, and it's going to seal all this area in. And to be honest folks, it don't get much better than that. So I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side, and then glue this together and apply a varnish. And that literally is how to actually use the vinyl cutter. So it's cut out, use it on the vinyl. The next stage is to do with the weeding. Once we've done the weeding, we apply another tape over the top, which is sort of semi-permanent. Once the semi-permanent tape's on, we then put the marks upon there, and we then use the correct tools to go through. Now that was an exam question that people didn't know about because they hadn't seen the process. But now you've seen the process, you've seen how it's done. Hopefully what you should be able to do is when you write this up, should you choose to use this method, that you'll be able to use this as your revision as well. And it's as easy as that. So the next stage will be a nice photograph of this all done, and from there all I'll do then is just get some spray varnish, not the varnish that we varnish with wood, although it's very similar, and it just comes in a can, a bit like a spray paint, and you just spray it over it and it soaks in. And you can get that in matte, you can get it in silk, and you can get it in gloss, and to be honest it's probably going to be the gloss that I'll go with. Right, that's the end of that tutorial. That's how to use a vinyl cutter and how to apply it onto your designs. Next stage we need to look at is probably how to apply the actual printing process to this as well. Right, final little clip to do with vinyl cutting, and what I've actually done now is I drew out and measured using the CAD drawing, the same one as a box to be fair, the actual size, and cut those out and stick those in. And I've also coated the vinyl on the inside at the back of the box so it all goes together. It looks very, very cool. Okay, so that's the vinyl cutting finally done. All that needs to be done now is to be stuck together, and to be honest I'm just going to be using I might use double-sided tape, but I'm probably going to favour the permanent glue to be fair. And then once that's done, it's just a spray paint, and that is the box complete. Nice vinyl cut design box for the shop, guaranteed to get you an A star to C, no problem. Okay then guys, I'll speak to you soon.